where she won her case and was given $5 million. You realize those are verbatim. She got $5 million and he got $600,000 from me.
Trump's hush money trial took an unexpected and embarrassing turn when Stormy Daniels, the adult film star he was alleged to have had an affair with, revealed explicit details about Trump in her courtroom testimony. Before this testimony, she was invited to Oxford University on June 27, 2023, where she exposed Donald Trump and his lies to the court.
I spent all this time trying to prove these things that were factual, and they don't care. And so that was a lot of the first time around. And then I quieted down, you know. I had just sort of began to return to a little bit of normalcy in my life, as normal as having the name Stormy means your life could possibly be. And this time around, it is very different. And part of that is 100% Donald Trump's fault.
She stated that since the story first emerged in 2018, she has been attacked, abused, and scrutinized online by many who believed she was lying. However, Stormy maintained that the horrors she faced were due to Donald Trump and his lies to the court. Additionally, she mentioned that while the threats were confined online back then, this time she's facing terrifying direct threats. Let's see what she had to say.
This time around, it is very different. It is direct threats. It is, I'm gonna come to your house and slit your throat. Your daughter should be euthanized. It is putting my stuff online. It is people coming to my house and attacking my innocent animals. It is people taking shots with guns at my horses. It is my child being kidnapped.
Next, Stormy Daniels, tired of defending herself, began roasting Donald Trump mercilessly.
For the record, I have banged some really hot celebrities. Do you think I would have picked that one for everybody to find out about? No. It is literally like taking, I mean, we've all made some mistakes, some of us in the bedroom. Somebody out here has probably woken up next to somebody that they are horrifically ashamed of. Oh, you just outed yourself.
And this was just the start. Wait until you hear how she described her relationship with Donald Trump.
But my point is that you got out of there and it was minimal damage. Now imagine that that happened. It was spray painted orange and put it on national TV. That's what happened to me.
I mean, nobody wants to wake up next to Donald Trump, let alone an adult film star who can choose from many attractive men. Further in her address, Stormy Daniels discussed how the system has discriminated against her. She noted that while the woman who accused Donald Trump of sexual abuse was awarded $5 million, she was forced to pay $600,000 instead of being rewarded.
She won her case and was given $5 million. You realize those are verbatim. She got $5 million and he got $600,000 from me.
It became clear to her that Trump was going to use her profession against her to discredit her. Ultimately, he gained the upper hand in the legal battle.
Trust me, because it fits their narrative. Makes it more disgusting that the person that he had an affair with worked in the adult industry.
This proved to be 100% true, as Trump's lawyer used this exact point, attempting to portray her as someone who fabricated the story of her alleged sexual encounter with Trump. Donald Trump's lawyer, Mr. Kelly, argued that Stormy Daniels has extensive experience in writing adult films and could have easily made it all up. Stephen Colbert, the infamous late-night show host known for mercilessly roasting Trump, discussed this on his show on May 10, 2024, right after the testimony. Let's hear what happened.
Necklace really tried to throw Stormy off, suggesting that as a porn star, Stormy had experience with phony stories about sex, to which Stormy responded that the sex in such films is very much real. And if the story of her night with Trump had been made up, I would have written it to be a lot better.
If you present such defenses, you're asking to be humiliated in front of the whole world. Yet Susan, the cellist, thought this might help Trump's case somehow, but all it did was humiliate him further. Moreover, it seemed that Mr. Kelly was determined to discredit Daniels as a witness by portraying her as someone who would do anything for money. Her merchandise sales and other methods of earning a living were attacked. However, the merchandise sales particularly struck a chord with Stephen Colbert due to the damning irony that we are about to see. Portray Daniel as a money-grubbing, sleazy, dishonest operator by attacking her social media posts and merchandise sales.
Portray her as a money-grubbing, sleazy, dishonest operator by attacking her social media posts and merchandise sales. And for more on why it's so wrong to be a sleazy, money-grubbing merch seller, please buy my God Bless America, Donald Trump, a Bible. There you go.
Donald Trump endorsed a massively inflated $60 Bible a few months ago, profiting from it. How can someone who sells merchandise attack another individual for doing the same? Only Trump's attorneys would be naive enough to use this as a defense in a criminal trial. By the way, Stephen Colbert was not the only one who obliterated Trump. Seth Meyers, another legendary night show host, also destroyed Trump after hearing the intricate and, quite frankly, nasty details about Trump that Stormy Daniels exposed. Seth Meyers breaks down what Miss Daniels discussed in open court.
First time an ex-president has been found in contempt and threatened with jail time, and now it's also the first time an ex-president has come face-to-face with a porn star he had an affair with. While she describes the position they were in, the silk pajamas he was wearing, and the magazine she spanked him on the ass with.
Don't mistake Miss Daniels for exaggerating these details. Take a look.
And I was like, someone should take that magazine and spank you with it. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And he was like,
what was the look?
Just, I don't think anyone's ever spoken to him like that, especially, you know, a young woman who looked like me. And I said, you know, give me that. And I turned around going, you wouldn't. I was like, hand it over. And so he did, and I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants?
Yes.
And did he?
Yes. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little. You know, he had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats.
The vivid details she provides make it incredibly believable, almost impossible to think the interaction never happened. And it's not just our opinion. Lawyers, experts, news anchors, and many others share the same view.
The level of detail is it's exquisite detail. And it sounds very believable. I'm not in the courtroom, but from all the reports, it seems as if she described their encounter with such vivid detail that it has to be believable. The room.
The details and the way Miss Daniels explained her encounter were so explicit and humiliating for Trump that even news reports struggled to discuss it. They didn't know what parts to censor because everything was just too graphic.
In vivid detail, almost too much detail for the judge at times, who asked prosecutors to move it along, how she was in the suite. She remembered being in the bathroom and seeing a leather toiletry case. She remembered Old Spice and Pert Plus. And then when she walked out of the bathroom, she said she remembered seeing Donald Trump there. The two had sex, she said, but as she began to describe that encounter, the sexual encounter, that's when the defense objected and the judge sustained the objection.
If they can't explain the details, we'll do it for you. Trump was wearing silk pajamas and then changed into his boxers when he got spanked with a magazine. They had sex for 90 seconds, as Miss Daniels said. Then he had Michael Cohen pay her $130,000 to keep her mouth shut. That's the whole story. The shocking thing is that this is a particularly significant event that will be etched into America's history for years to come. After all, Trump is the first ever president in US history to be a criminal defendant. Many people are concerned about how this will affect the nation. However, Seth Meyers took a humorous approach to the situation. He remarked that there's no way any of this could ever be taught in schools because every single sentence is full of obscenity, sexual content, and intricate details about the former president, Donald Trump.
Sincere question. How are they going to teach this era of history in high school? They can't say most of the words. A frazzled gym teacher will have to cover it in sex ed. All right, kids, settle down. We're going to be covering STDs here today. The do's and don'ts of safe sex and, all right, 45th president of the United States.
Next up is an even more absurd and humiliating event that occurred in court on May 9th, 2024, when Stormy Daniels testified against Trump. Let's hear from Seth Meyers. Is that any sexual descriptions elicited from your team would be very basic and include no descriptions of genitalia.
Here's what they wouldn't say. A prosecutor told the judge that any sexual descriptions elicited from her team would be very basic and include no descriptions of genitalia. I had two different simultaneous reactions when I heard this. Thank God, and why not?
I guess we all agree with Meyers here. Why aren't they discussing the specifics of genitalia when everything else is being openly discussed? That's what Seth Meyers thinks.
Because when someone says, we're going to talk about his genitalia, but don't worry, we won't get into specifics, it's impossible to think, but what are the specifics? Don't get me wrong, I really don't want to hear about Donald Trump's weird penis, but also I kind of want him to have to hear it. Someone reading a description of your weird penis in court sounds like a dream you'd have after eating a Hot Pocket you found on the train. would be so funny to hear it described with him in the room. Just for the chance that during Stormy's testimony, Trump would sneak a glance down at his pants and the courtroom artist would capture the moment.
Regardless of what happened in court, some Republicans, like Sean Hannity, believe that Daniels' presence in court was not to explain facts, but to humiliate Trump. Take a look at this.
Why was she in the courtroom? She was there for one reason, and this should scare every American. She was there to humiliate and embarrass Donald Trump.
I think there was a very easy way for Trump to protect himself from embarrassment. Don't sleep with an adult film star. Once again, Seth Meyers shares the same sentiment. Let's see how he humiliated Trump and Hannity together.
If you don't want an adult film star testifying in a trial of a former president, don't vote for a president who slept with an adult film star. And you might say, but I didn't know. You might say, I didn't know he slept with an adult film star before I voted for him. And the reason you didn't is because he paid her off so she wouldn't tell anyone. And that's why she's in court, and that's the reason. The fact that he's also humiliated and embarrassed is what's called, the legal term, a bonus.
Let's rewind to Stephen Colbert's roast of Trump for a moment because it seems very fitting here. He mentioned how Trump's lawyer attacked Stormy Daniels for discussing their affair. Let's see what happens next.
Peter says they're being careful to omit some details that are, quote, too salacious. Again, this is where we are as a country right now, that we are having this discussion and this debate in the courtroom. Prosecutors is also saying, quote, in terms of the sexual act, it will be very basic. I can't believe I have to read this on television.
That's got to be hard to recover from. The thing is, Miss Daniels hasn't chosen to speak out just for the sake of it. She has repeatedly explained the intimidation and threats she received from Trump, which ultimately pushed her to come out and share her side of the story.
He baited me. He physically intimidated me by putting himself between me and the door. He knew there was a very large bodyguard outside that door. I could definitely have kicked Trump's ass. Not sure if I could have taken that bodyguard. Did that bodyguard have a gun? I don't know.
When you threaten someone, it's clear they'll defend themselves. In this clip, Daniels defends herself by exposing Trump's hilariously inappropriate clothing when they met.
The door to the hotel opens, and what is Donald Trump wearing?
Silky pajamas.
And they were black pajamas,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So he immediately looks like a Halloween pumpkin or something.
I'm pretty sure I thought he was chanting.
Even after the humiliation, Donald Trump maintained his arrogance, murmuring words under his breath in court, verbally attacking witnesses, and using social media to do more damage. This behavior led to the judge issuing a gag order against him, which he violated numerous times. In the end, he faced the threat of jail time if he continued his actions.
If the judge determines he already violated the gag order put in place to stop him from attacking trial participants, including witnesses, he's also been warned about his behavior inside the courtroom, where, as we've reported, the judge was not happy with him.
Still, Trump is whining about how the judge is biased against him, and during these cries, he slipped and said that he has a wife who hates him. See for yourself.
I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family.
I think Donald Trump is perfectly capable of embarrassing and humiliating himself. The details and testimony of Stormy Daniels are just a bonus for us now that the trial has ended. Let's explore what the judgment holds for Trump. There's much at stake currently, with the possibility of Trump facing imprisonment even before engaging in the June and September debates against Joe Biden, let alone standing for president on November 5th, 2024. Do you believe he will be found guilty in the hush money trial? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button and activating the bell icon. This way, you'll be notified as soon as we upload our next video. Thank you for watching.